So, hello everybody. I am writing this script not 30 minutes after finishing the second season of Fallout, and I'm doing that so I could sort of gather my thoughts. The Season 2 as a whole improved a lot over Season 1, though it still had a few new issues along the way, including, but not limited to, having way too many plot lines.
You know, one thing I should... Excuse me for 1 second.
Of course.
Oh, well, that was wonderful. Good time was had by all. I'm pooped.
Yes, I should be. Good Lord, what is happening in there?
Aurora Borealis?
Aurora Borealis.
A few tonal problems, and giving me the worst case of blue balls since the time I was with that twin. Now, I'm not really here to talk about that. Instead, I'd like to answer the #1 question that's been on everyone's mind since Season 1. Can I have sex with the ghoul? What is the canon ending to Fallout New Vegas? Now, full warning ahead, there will be spoilers for both seasons of the show, as well as Fallout New Vegas, and even some minor spoilers for Fallout 4. With that all out of the way, let's go over our heavy hitters, the 4 factions that are all vying over New Vegas, and good for us, they're all present during this season, or at least have evidence that could point to their presence, and their endings potentially being canon.
She is such a bad bitch, though. I will fuck the shit out of that robot, man. I'm not even...
Alright, let's start with the phantom host of New Vegas itself, Robert House. Of all the factions present in the show, Mr. House by far has the most new lore additions. Chiefly for this video, House is actually revealed to have died between the events of the game and the show, as we can see a lifeless hand sticking out of his preservation pod at the end credits of episode 5. Well, I'm not exactly positive if these scenes are necessarily canon, considering Season 1 Episode 8's end credits scene showed us a version of the strip that was not transferred into Season 2. This also goes for some other shots of New Vegas that were not in the end credits scene, though, at the end of Season 1, particularly the one with Hank looking out over the strip. Now, I take this to mean that these discrepancies are likely just because they hadn't quite got what they wanted Vegas to look like yet at the end of Season 1, and instead figured that out leading up to the filming of Season 2. The other clue is when House is chatting up the ghoul, and House says, "It's good to be alive again," before he lists several ways he's been attacked, saying he's been poisoned, shot, and bludgeoned with a crowbar. So I do think it's safe to say that Robert House, the real Robert House, is, very much...
You have perished.
But I suppose that's what happens when you bet on a wild card twice. I can assume the courier killed him, considering he's the only one we know of that House let into the Lucky 38 at that point. That and the fact that it looks like a scuffle occurred in the, sort of Jumbotron room. One more piece of evidence is that Victor has been deactivated in Camp Golf for, a while, a minute. Now, thankfully for House, he was able to fall back on his A plan, which is a weird thing to say, when Coop booted up his roboticized form with the cold fusion. So, I guess it doesn't really matter that he probably didn't win the dam, because he now has infinite power right in his penthouse. Speaking of the dam, we do know that House received the Hoover Dam snow globe. Now, there is one more interesting development. It does seem as though House has received the Platinum chip, as we do see a Securitron that's been upgraded to the Mark II version. Now, wait up a minute. Let's go back to that comment about the penthouse. We see in the penthouse that there is a down Securitron next to House's little television. Now, Could this just be one of House's 2 guards? Yes. Or it could be... Yes, man, Charlie! It's Yes, man!
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, boy. You get your goddamn ugly ass.
Admittedly, there, isn't much to this one. Just the Securitron there and the Atomic Wrangler bartender mentioning that robots have controlled the strip right before the death clause. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter. Wow.
Alright, let's do the fan favorite now. The National Cash Register, baby! In the show, the NCR is definitely worse for wear, but that's not really important. I don't give a shit. What is important is that bartender from earlier. So he says that the strip came under control of
The bear. The bear.
Then going back to the aforementioned robots. So we do know that the NCR lost Camp Gulf. We can be pretty sure that they lost McCarran, and we also have... I guess that's pretty much it. Huh. Well, okay then. On to the femboys.
Kaiser's palace.
The Legion is really weird in the show, honestly. So I think I'm just gonna... I don't really know how to segue into this. Kaisar is dead. But he does seem to be on the yellow side of the dam. Lanius is nowhere to be found. And the faction seems to be in shambles. I believe that Kaisar likely died due to his, crippling cancer. And it's safe to assume that Lanius suffered from a nasty case of death, as he would be next in charge to lead the Legion. Not either of these posers. So, Kaisar likely made it to Vegas, but I'm not going to say Lanius did. Now that we have the face cards in our deck, let's go over the lesser players at the table. I will make this quick.
Number 1, tampon in steak.
First up is the Silver Rush. We see the Fangraphs are still operating in Freeside, meaning that our courier either did not interact with them, or they completed, at the very least, their first quest.
Number 2, clam chowder condom.
While the death claws on the strip didn't come from the quarry, our bartender from before seems to think that they might have. And if he is going to make this assumption, I think it's safe for me to make the assumption that our courier did not commit a Deathclaw genocide.
Number 3, ice cream surprise.
Third up on the list is the complete lack of everyone's favorite little toaster fuckers. The Brotherhood of Steel played a rather large part in the first half of Season 2, and several West Coast chapters were present. One that wasn't was the Mojave chapter, despite the fact that the Brotherhood is in Area 51, not too far away from the Strip. Now, I see 3 reasons for this. Number 1, they may be presumed dead. They were isolationists after all. Number 2, Quintus may have figured that they might not want to go for a civil war. Or, number 3, they died. I do think door 3 holds our winner, as all 4 major factions nudge you in the direction to kill the Brotherhood of Steel, with both House and Kaisar mandating their death. This, paired with their isolationism, means that cards are heavily stacked against their favor.
Number 4, bullets in hot dog.
I bring good news, everyone. Everyone's favorite rockabilly ruffians survived the events of the games. Unfortunately, most of them seem to have a new, less selective diet. Don't worry, they still have their smooth moves at least. Now, I'm not sure if all the kings are ghouls now, but the fact that they are here does mean that they didn't get wiped out by House. The only way to get this to happen in the House ending would be to stir violence between the kings and the NCR. However, considering House likely died during the events of the game, I don't think that that's necessarily what happened.
Number 5, syringe needle sandwich.
This next one pertains to a faction that I really wasn't expecting to get this much background service. The once great Khans seem to be on the up after the chaos of whatever the fuck happened in Fallout New Vegas. We see that they've taken Novak, and Ma June says that Lucy was traveling through Khan territory in Season 1, even though we don't actually see any Khans in Season 1. We do get to see 2 Fiends and the government, so I guess that's something. The ending that gives the Khans most power is to not let them join the Legion and to instead make a new legacy for themselves. Though in this ending they expand with the help of the followers, who I don't think would really help the Khans that we see in the show.
Number 6, serrated knife.
I've saved the best for last here. Please, everyone, give it up for Fisto.
Please assume the position.
Okie dokie. We have the most important ending to discuss here. So I do again have a few theories as to what happened here. So I'll start with option 1. The courier rescued Fisto from the Cerulean Robotics building as a part of the Wang Dang Atomic Tango, and then gave him to the Garrett twins. Or should I say, James. James then had something happen where he either had to flee the strip, skip town, take a little trip to the afterlife, some sort of thing like that, and had to leave Fisto behind in the hands of a certain Gallus Domesticus enjoyer. Alternatively, the twins could have gotten a massive boost in income following the shutdown of the strip, and this let them hire a proper bartender so they could solely focus on other aspects of operating the casino. Now, this last theory, this one's my favorite. Our courier, who may or may not have an infatuation with feathers, found Fisto and was so smitten that he kept him all to himself, the greedy little bastard.
7, dead frog inside Pepsi can.
Alright, bonus! So, not so much pertaining to New Vegas, but rather another game in the series, Fallout 4. The show strongly suggests that Nate the Rake decided to join a second fascist regime, for the employee benefits, of course, as we do see Paladin Harkness mention Elder Maxon, as well as just the fact that the Commonwealth Brotherhood is now the most powerful chapter, at least the one that all the other chapters have to bend the knee to. This brings me to my favorite interpretation of what the canon ending for Fallout New Vegas is. The courier wakes up in Goodsprings, does some stuff in the wasteland, arrives at Novak. The courier then either skips the Repcon site or kills everyone en route to the strip. While trying to get enough money to get on the strip, the courier completes Birds of a Feather and Wang Dang Atomic Tango. This is where they find Fisto and keep him for themselves. The courier then confronts that little fucking twink Benny, takes the chip, and upgrades the army beneath the fort. While there, the courier begins to rethink an NCR run and betrays House, killing him with a crowbar that doesn't even exist in the game. The NCR then tells the courier to kill the Brotherhood of Steel, which they do happily, and to deal with the Khans and the Kings. The Brotherhood of Steel is killed, but both the Khans and the Kings are convinced to help the NCR in the final battle at the Hoover Dam. In said final battle at the Hoover Dam, the courier somehow kills Lanius, not Caesar, but Lanius. Lanius is dead. After the battle, the courier goes back to his sweet love, Fisto, shaken and changed, and very mentally unstable, likely an addict. The NCR collapses. Political instability strikes the Republic, ceding the territory to Caesar's Legion. Though, after Caesar dies, the NCR is able to push back, only for Shady Sands to then get nuked. The NCR is scattered, leaving Legion warlords largely unopposed, other than rival Legion warlords. During the fighting, Novak is destroyed and abandoned. The chaos allows the Great Khans to slowly rebuild their empire, taking Novak and even parts of California. Now this all brings us to the events of the show. It does seem like we will continue in Vegas for Season 3, so we will likely get a better understanding of what happened in the game then. While it's not perfect, and it's not necessarily the intended interpretation, this is what I've got. I encourage you to share your own down below. I would love to hear your theories. And also, while you're down there, if you could please just drop a cheeky little like, that would be appreciated. Maybe even subscribe if you're feeling up to that. And, oh yeah, give me all your money. Just give it all to me. Just give me all of your earthly possessions that, I would, just give it all to me. Give it all to me. Bye.